Howdy.
Hello to you, Lisa. How are you?
I'm doing well. Do you like my new hat?
I love your new hat.
It's pretty
Dog. It
appropriate.
should it should say multiple dog mom.
Multiple dog mom. Yeah, it just says dog mom, but it should say
Dogs mom.
dogs dogs
Dogs
apostrophe.
apostrophe mom.
You know I need that apostrophe there.
You totally do.
I should I
But
should
it's
add
cute.
that on there. I don't know how to embroider on a hat, but it fits really nicely. I had a favorite hat that I got in the Mayan Riviera, and
Mhm.
I just loved it. It was the most comfortable hat, and this, had a nice curve, and it had the perfect. I have a small head, so it fit my head really well. And I had it for years and years and years, and then went on a roller coaster at Six Flags with
Oh,
my kids and lost my favorite hat in the middle of being terrified and feeling sick to my stomach. So it was all in all not a good day. But when I got this, I put it on and I was like, oh, it feels like my
oh.
Mayan Riviera hat. And it has, everything the same, super comfortable. So
And
yeah,
it's even more special because it's
because it says dog
dog
mom
mom on it.
with a paw print on it.
Yeah, so
It's
cute.
yeah, I'm ridiculous about the like dog mom stuff now. I got Chris a bunch of stuff that says dog dad, which he's like,
Oh.
they are not humans. I am not a dad. But then, I find him drinking out of the dog dad mug. Oh, and they all
So
just started barking like crazy when I said that. That was good timing.
very
Anyway,
good timing. Very
I
good timing.
digress.
There you go. So what have you been up to? What have you been baking in that beautiful kitchen of yours?
I'm making a tea party birthday cake for someone to pick up today, for someone who
Hmm.
is having a very special birthday. She's 11 on the 11th,
Ah,
and
it's what's it
wanted
called when it's
I think
your
it's her champagne birthday.
champagne? Okay.
I think.
Little
And
too young for champagne at
yeah,
11.
so let's have tea. So yeah, she wanted it in like kind of elegant with rose golds, and she wanted a teacup on top. So I've made a little white chocolate teacup and brushed it with luster dust, and it's got gold
Nice.
paint, edible paint on the edges. And I was going to fill it with flowers, and I made a bunch of buttercream flowers, but I decided instead of filling the teacup with flowers, I'll just have flowers on the side of the cake. And I ended up making a lovely chocolate ganache and filling the teacup with the chocolate ganache. So it's an edible treat that looks like a cup of tea. And
That's
I think it's pretty
lovely.
cute.
I can't wait to see it.
You. Yeah, I ended up making I bought a teacup mold and that
Mhm.
didn't work out very well. It was one of those ones where you have the two halves and then you have to
Yep.
put them together, and I just find
Yep.
that the chocolate like can leak out the sides if it's not a really good seal. And so I just found these little silicone what do you call them? Pinch pots? Little
Oh,
silicone
okay.
dishes
Yep.
at Winners yesterday. No, not
Yeah.
Winners, Michael's.
Okay.
And I just was like, I'm going to try that. So I made just a little cup and then had some white modeling chocolate and just made a little handle. And then I was like, this works.
That
So
worked out
I
well.
guess I'll
Yeah.
return the molds that I got, but
Oh, there you go. Where did you get the molds from? Winners
they were off
or
Amazon.
Amazon? Oh, on
So I can
Amazon.
return them. No.
Okay. That
Yeah.
works out well.
Yeah.
Good.
How about you? What are you
Nice.
baking these days?
Well, Easter's coming up this coming weekend and
Yes.
s-
Yes, it is this coming weekend because
coming
it's
weekend.
Tuesday today, according to this. We're not yet on Tuesday, but you're listening to this on Tuesday.
Yes. When you're listening to this, it's this coming weekend. But
Gotcha.
so I am going to start doing some of my Easter stuff. So, of course, every
Nice.
Easter, one of the things that we always used to do growing up was Easter bread. And that was
Yeah.
we make these big batches of Easter bread
Mhm.
pão doce or massa doce, as we called it in Portuguese. And that would be our gift for family and friends, and sharing that. That was a big part of the tradition of Easter is gifting some baking out to people
Nice.
amongst the big food feasts that we would have through the whole
Mhm.
Easter weekend. So yeah, so I'm going to be making that up for that, and
Amazing.
yeah, so that's always fun to do that. So I'm
Great.
going to try some braiding. I actually saw something online
Yay.
and do some actual braid work. I saw one that was like an 8 strand. It
Oh,
sounds daunting, but I think I could do this one. It didn't look that horrible.
you
So I'll let
can
you know
do
how it works
it.
out.
Yes, I'm excited. I actually saw Jordan Almonds at the checkout in my Winners. It was
You
Winners, wasn't it? I
didn't.
did, and I was thinking of you, and I was like, I could grab them, but then what am I? Should I grab them? Should I have grabbed them and just held on to them till the next time I saw you?
Probably. No. I'll
Sorry.
check our winners though
Yeah,
too, because
check.
sometimes they have similar
Yes.
items.
Yeah.
But I actually have some of them because
Okay,
I
good.
stocked up when I actually found some in London the last time I was there.
Oh,
So
I thought so. I thought you had
yeah.
found a source.
I brought home a number of the bags of
Because you
those.
use
So
that for the bread, right? Or for your
yeah, because you
tortilla.
actually
Yeah.
put them in. And so I think it's going to look really nice with the way this bread is braided. It's got a nice little center area, which I think will be perfect to kind of dot all the little almonds, candied almonds all the way down
Nice.
through. So
Awesome.
yeah, so it'll be
Well, that,
fun.
I'm glad you have some, and I'm not getting my hand slapped for not grabbing them at the
It's all
checkout.
good.
You
I
look
would never do
disappointed.
that. I would never
Okay.
do that. But it's kind of nice to see that they're coming, like there's
Yes,
more availability of it because,
exactly.
as I mentioned, I think on a previous podcast, they're so hard to find here in
Yeah.
Toronto. I
Yeah.
think they're a little bit more readily available because there's big Portuguese community and they have like little Portuguese grocery.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't, there used to be a Portuguese grocer in the Vancouver area
Mm,
just off of commercial, but they
yeah.
were retired. And I don't know that anybody's like
Nobody's picked up that
picked up on that. Yeah,
baton.
they haven't picked the baton up and
Run
done
with
like a
it.
little Portuguese grocery
Maybe
store.
that's your
So
next
that I'm aware
venture.
of. Mm.
She does not want to do that. Okay. Moving
Although
on.
it'd be fun, it would be a lot of fun. I think it would be kind of fun, but yeah,
It would
I
be
it would
an
really be
adventure.
helpful if I spoke Portuguese well
It
instead of it
would be.
sounding like I've got a hot potato in my mouth and people would be looking at me going, "I'm sorry, what are you saying?"
Hot potato,
And
hot
then
potato.
I'd have the Google Translate,
You'd have the Google Translate.
the Google Translate.
That's like how my mom says. I mailed her when she's talking about emailing.
Oh,
I got a mail from my cousin the other day, and no, it just sounds funny. The Google Translate.
the Google Translate,
The what else do people say? Anyway,
the
doesn't matter.
interweb,
The interweb. Well, I
the
guess
interweb,
the the texting.
the texting,
No, never mind. Forget I went there
the
because
typing,
then the type
the thumb typing
my
message.
mind went completely blank after that. So anyway,
Yeah.
so our guest today is Andrea Nauta from season 3 of the Great Canadian Baking Show.
Yes. And it's so fun because well, I'd never met her before.
I had not met her.
Oh, you hadn't met her
I
either.
had
Okay.
saw her at the audition for season 3.
Okay. But I hadn't seen her last year. She wasn't able to make it out for the in-person auditions, but she was
Yeah.
here this year. So we finally
Yes.
got a chance to meet her. And I felt so bad because I didn't recognize her right away because, of
Mm-hmm.
course, in season 3, it was a few years ago, and
Yeah.
she had the funkiest hair,
Yeah.
the funky blue colored hair, and she was
That
awesome
very short
and
haircut.
short. And it was just such a, yeah, really cool. She totally pulls it off, looked awesome. And so she doesn't look like that anymore.
Nope.
So I felt so bad because I didn't recognize her, and I was like, I saw the other baker
She was with
alumni, of
all the other
course.
bakers and with Bruno.
Exactly, she was with them, so I'm like, okay, how come I don't recognize this baker? And I'm trying to rack my brain, and I'm thinking, well, maybe she's just somebody's significant other, or
Oh,
I
that
I wasn't sure, right? Or part of the crew, but maybe in a different capacity or something. So anyway, we finally got introduced, and of course, it was Andrea. And she is seriously one of the sweetest humans.
she's
So I'm so
lovely.
glad that we were able to have her on today's podcast.
Yeah,
And yeah, so it's
me
so good.
too. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was really wonderful chatting with her. So I hope you all enjoy this conversation with Andrea. Welcome, Andrea. It's so
Yeah,
good to see you.
you too. Thank you.
it was so nice to actually get a chance to meet you in real life.
I was so excited to see you too. I've been such a big fan of your podcast, so I was so excited to actually meet you and talk with you and see you in Vancouver and try your amazing desserts.
Oh, you're so sweet. I mean, it
You
was so,
are.
yeah, I mean, it was so lovely that all of you guys came out and supported all the bakers and tried the bakes and were just so wonderful and gracious and kind and
Mm.
encouraging and inspiring to all of us as well. So it's always nice when there's such, and it was a good group of people to
It was,
the
yeah,
Vancouver audition.
yeah, absolutely.
Was that the first time that you've come back for, I guess last year was the first open call anyway. Did you go? I don't remember seeing you last year.
I didn't go
Okay.
last year. I was busy at the time because I was at work, but this year I was like, no, I really want to go, and I'm so glad I did. Because
Yes.
when I auditioned, it wasn't open call. You had to be called into the audition. So it was a really cool experience to see the other side of it, how
Yes.
they do things now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how was the experience for you?
I loved it. It was really cool to be on the other side and not be like all stressed out and worried about if my bake was gonna make it. Because I know a lot of the bakers there were like, oh, I didn't know if it was gonna taste good because it traveled this far. And I was like, oh, I remember that experience very well, and I'm so glad I don't have to do it again. But yeah, it was really
Yeah.
cool to be there on the other side and to just be a part of everyone's experience because I feel like that is the beginning of the whole experience. Is just going to audition was like alone is just amazing. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. And so when you first auditioned, was season three the first year that you auditioned? Or
No, I actually auditioned in Toronto for season two,
Hmm.
and that was I applied. My mom was like, "Go, you have to try out for this." I was like, "I have no idea what it is, but okay." And so I applied and they called me for the audition in Toronto and I went to that. It was amazing. I met Anne Marie there. And yeah, so that was an incredible experience. And I didn't make it that season, but they said come back. And I said, well, I'll be in Comox, which is on Vancouver Island. So I won't be able to come to the Toronto. And they're like, oh, we have one in Vancouver too. So I was like, well, I'll think about it. So when the opportunity came to audition again, I was like, I don't know. I didn't make it last time. Should I try again? And I did. And I guess it was a good thing I did.
yes, it was a very good
Incredible.
thing that you did. So did people, when you came to the open call this year, did people recognize you?
Um, I don't think so. Actually, a lot of them were giving me a little bit of odd looks, but I mean, I do look a lot different than I did on season three, so I totally understand that.
You
Yeah,
did.
well, we were two of those people who were like,
At
who is
first.
that lady? Who is she? We couldn't immediately, figure it out until obviously when Lisa started speaking with you, she's like, "Oh, it's Andrea from season three," and we're like,
Me.
"Oh,
I'm
of
totally
course it
different.
is."
Yeah.
But we were like, "Who is that? Is she part of the production team? Is she one of the bakers? She's hanging out with all the
You're
alums."
making it sound like we had a conversation. This is her internal dialogue. She just told me about this now.
I thought I had, it's such a whirlwind, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm pretty sure it was going through everyone's minds. They're like all giving me looks. I'm like, yeah, nobody knows who I am.
Did you kind of have fun with that?
I did. Yeah, it's kind of cool because like, who is this person? I'm like, I'm just here to see your bakes.
Hanging
I'm just
out, one
gonna
of the
judge you.
critics. One of the
Hmm.
critics.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So was that the way that you had your hair in season three with the very short cut and the funky colors and everything? You still have the funky colors.
yeah.
Um, but was that something, a style that you had for quite some time and that you've only recently changed?
I did. Well, I originally my hair is normally dark and long and everything. And then a few years ago, or not a few, quite a while ago, now I decided one time just to cut it all off. And I was like, I don't know if I can pull it off. And I did. And then I went like, I would dye my hair all kinds of colors. Like I did Christmas colors, I've done spring colors, I did everything under the moon. And for season 3, for my audition bake, I did a mermaid macaron tower and I did mermaid pants and everything. And I'm like, I'm gonna do my hair. So I went like full out for my audition. I'm like, I'm bringing mermaid to the whole picture. So
Hmm.
that was
I
Oh,
that was
remember it
specific.
because
Yeah.
I was there and I watched you walk across with it. Actually, someone else was carrying it and you were
Yeah.
walking, and I was like, she's getting on the show.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And then you
Yeah,
did, and I was like, I knew
I
she was
did.
going to be there.
yeah. Because that's
And
part of it is
a few people said that too. It was kind of funny.
That's kind
yeah.
of
I was like,
fun.
I don't know. I'm just going, like, if I'm gonna do this again, I'm going all out. So I did.
You
You
went
leave that
full on.
impression, and obviously your bake was spectacular and delicious because, obviously, the your style, your personality, your attitude, all of that, the sparkliness, the energy, that all has something to play into getting chosen. But obviously, you're an incredible baker to boot. So let's talk a little bit about that before. Well, we'll
Yeah,
talk
I
a
was
little
like,
bit more
let's
about.
rewind.
Yeah, let's rewind. How did you start baking to begin with? Like, had you been
Um,
baking for a long time?
yeah, so I started baking like probably when I was like 8. I was always in my Nona's kitchen just watching, and she loved to make like different things, and I like to be her little helper. And then my favorite thing to watch on TV was always baking shows. I loved watching Anna Olsen, and she was just always like my favorite like person on TV. And then I started baking like, like the pre-mix boxes for my sisters for like snacks and stuff for school. So I was like always baking like that. And then I think once I met my husband, I just kind of started baking just for the fun of it. And like if you see my first bakes, they were very, very homemade looking. And then I just kind of like would watch a bunch of like shows and YouTubes and like kind of self-taught myself. So I've been baking since I was 8, but like more recently I baked just more for hobby type things.
Yeah.
And for your
Yeah,
coworkers
yeah, all
all
the
the
time,
time.
every week. I haven't missed a week this year, so that's impressive, I guess.
That is very
That is very
impressive.
impressive. And you're not just baking, oh, here's some, chocolate chip cookies, which they looked incredible too, because they're not
So
just like
good.
regular chocolate chip cookies, but nice, beautiful gourmet ones. But you're doing all sorts of beautiful, delicious looking, drool worthy bakes.
Yeah, I try to do something different. Like every week I'm like, hey, what am I gonna do? And I have no idea. And then I'm like, you know what? I'll just do this. And then they're like, wow, how did you come up with that? I'm like, I just wanted to bring something different.
So cool. And it's
It's
great
fun to
that you
do
have
that.
so many willing guinea pigs to try out your bakes.
They do love them.
And so when you applied for the show and got on the show, you were working as a barista, correct?
Yes, I was working at Starbucks. I actually worked at Starbucks for 12 years.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And that was actually like my final year that I worked there because I got a different job. But yeah, right before I went on to blah blah blah, I can't talk. Right before I went on to baking in the tent was like my last time at Starbucks, pretty much.
Oh,
Oh,
perfect.
wow, cool.
Yeah.
So
So
working at Starbucks, there's like, did that give you maybe that inspiration to try all sorts of different flavor combinations? Like, was that kind of like where you maybe got you were fearless into trying different things? Because of course, Starbucks customers are generally well known for making things very complicated and all sorts of different flavor combos and stuff.
Oh my goodness. My Starbucks orders still to this day are very complex. I know their little tricks and stuff to order really good things. So I would guess like for flavor wise, that would probably a big inspiration. but I get a lot of my inspiration just like watching like the Instagram reels and everything
Mhm.
like that. And I see them and I'm like, oh, I would love to bake that, but I want to make it different. So
Yeah.
I always think of different ways that I can make it my own. So
Yeah. That's awesome to have
that's
like a signature, right? You want
yeah,
to put your
yeah,
own spin on things.
absolutely. Like I love seeing everyone's creativity, but then I'm like, I think I could do something else.
Yeah. That's cool. That's the best thing. And there's so much inspiration between all of the great baking shows that are on, between Instagram, Facebook, YouTube videos. It's endless. All around you, you have that, right? Different bakeries.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
More
very
So,
so now. It's like when I was a kid, like I was like cable TV watch like the Food Network and you sometimes get the baking shows and then now it's like, oh, what do I want to bake this time? And just open up my phone and there's the reel. And I'm like, okay.
yeah, yeah, life's changed a lot, that's for
Oh,
sure.
absolutely.
yeah.
So what do you do for work now? You look like you're in a classroom.
Well, I'm in an elementary school. I'm in my room here. I'm an Indigenous support worker. So I support students that claim to have Indigenous ancestry. I support like 50 students in our school, which is a quarter of our school because we have the smallest school in our district. So I absolutely love it. It's my favorite place to be, and it's right across the street from my house. So
Oh,
literally just walk across the road with my kids to school.
Oh,
I always joke with
fantastic.
them, I'm like, okay, let's walk to school today.
oh,
Yeah,
so
but they're
nice.
older
Driving
now,
would
so
be
like,
funny.
yeah.
Do you like living in the Courtney Comox area?
Oh my goodness. It's always been home to me, even though I grew up in Ontario. I moved here when I was 14, and my husband's military, so we moved back and forth between different places. But Comox has always been home to me. It's
Hmm.
absolutely beautiful. I love the forest, the oceans, the
Yeah,
trails,
it is
everything about it.
gorgeous. Yeah.
We live in
It's
like
really
the
beautiful.
paradise of Canada.
Yeah, it
Agreed.
is. There's something about the sea air, the mountains
Yeah,
all around you. It's just a beautiful, beautiful community or two communities, I guess, Courtney Comox.
yeah,
And the people there are just the sweetest.
they are. It's like everyone almost knows each other without knowing each other. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So then it was probably pretty good timing if you finished up your job at Starbucks and then went and filmed the show and then came back to start your new job. So you didn't have as many explanations as to where you were going,
No, well, not really. I was just like, oh, I need to go back to Ontario to be with my family, right? So
right?
they knew I
Mhm.
had family in Ontario, so that was an easy kind of like outing.
Right.
And
Yes.
then I didn't have to worry too much about that. But like keeping it secret was probably the trickiest, especially in the area that we live in, Comox, like the base, because everybody knows everybody.
Right.
They're like, why is she going to Ontario without her kids, without her husband? Like it's just her by herself. Like it didn't make sense. And then my one good friend, she kind of like, I didn't tell her, but she kind of was like, something's going on. So I feel like a few of them kind of knew what was happening, but obviously I couldn't say anything. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
so hard not to tell your best
mhm.
friends.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Like one of the most exciting things happening, and I'm like, I can't say anything.
And you
Yeah.
can't tell them for quite some time.
Yeah, no, not until like they release like who's on the season, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's quite a while.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then so your mom, it sounded like she was the one who was like, you need to apply for this.
Yeah.
Was she really the one who like pushed you to do that the second time, or did you go, okay, well, we'll do this again and we'll see what happens? And
So the first time she was the one that pushed me. The second time I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know if I could do this again. It was already stressful, but I'm like, my husband's like, you could totally do this. So he was
Oh.
kind of like the little kick I needed, but I was really doubting myself, especially like making what I made. I was like, oh my gosh, this is not gonna work. And at the time, I was not very experienced in macarons, and that's what I decided to bring. I'm like, this is just asking for like
Trouble.
I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, like
Why did you
baking that.
choose macarons then?
I don't know. macarons are that one thing, like when I first started baking them, I'm like, I poured tears into them. Like, I was like, I know how to bake. Why are these things not working? And I was determined to do it. So once I started to like figure them out, I'm like, okay, I can do this. I'm like, well, this is one of the trickiest things to bake. So maybe they'll see that as a big
Yeah,
thing. Now I feel like everyone's baking macarons, but
a lot more
I mean,
people,
at
yeah.
the time, yeah, at the time there wasn't as many, so I was
Mhm.
hopeful.
Kind of ironic because what I brought to that audition, I made a like gluten-free, dairy-free chocolate cake, blah blah blah, and decided I would try making macarons as well for the same kind of reason. I was like, it's very
Yeah.
technical. They're going to see there's some skill involved. There was absolutely no skill involved. There was pure luck involved because it was my first time ever trying making
Oh
macarons
wow.
and
Oh my
probably the
gosh.
last time that they actually turned out.
Well, it worked for what it needed to do, right?
It
Yeah.
did, yes.
And like I bake macarons like almost daily, and I still have days where I'm like,
Uh-huh.
what is going on right now? My
Yeah.
husband's like, oh, it's just the humidity. I'm like, of course you know that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's learned from
Like,
you.
yeah, before he's like, I don't get it. You know how to bake. Why aren't they working? You do the same, like it's simple, right? He looks at the recipe and he's like, it's four ingredients, Andrea. How do you mess this up? I'm like, you know what? You don't tell me. You have no idea.
It's so true, right? It's, I totally feel your pain on that. And the same thing, right? You can bake them up like you said, every single day. And then there's always that, one or couple of days, handful of days or whatever. It's,
Yeah.
the sun's not aligned properly to the moon, or, you're wearing the
That's
wrong
so true.
color, or, whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm like, why? Did I turn it one too many times or
Yeah,
like anything? Or did I cough when I was piping? Like,
Yeah,
you never know what's gonna happen.
I'm
totally.
still determined. One of these days I will make proper macarons. They will be
You will,
okay.
You
absolutely.
will. You
Never give
will.
up.
Persistence eventually does pay off.
It
I bought
does. Yep.
some egg white powder off of Amazon because in the book that we got, Mastering Macarons, which was by our pal Fred,
Okay.
Fred Chibi-Levin, he
Mhm.
said that he uses egg white powder in all of his macarons. So I
I
was
have,
like, try it.
yep,
Yeah.
I've used egg white powder before too, and I do find it creates a more stiffer meringue, like a more
Mhm.
stable meringue. So it
Okay.
does work. I've like I've used it and I've not used it, and I find no difference now because I've kind of figured it out more. But
Hmm.
when I was first starting using it, kind of helped a lot more get more achievable macarons.
Just to
Yeah.
be consistent and to feel like,
Yeah,
okay, I've actually succeeded and
Yeah.
yeah,
I will keep
exactly.
going with this.
Yeah. I think also the egg white powder is really a bit more helpful too, when it's higher humidity
Yes,
as well, is what
absolutely.
I've heard.
Yeah, because it
So
sucks in the moisture.
yeah. Yeah.
Makes
Hmm.
sense. So you said when you went for your first audition in Toronto that you had didn't know what the show was.
I
Had
had
you
no
you
idea.
had not seen the first season? Had you watched the Great British Bake Off?
No, I've never seen.
You
Like I
loved
was
baking
trying to.
shows.
I know, I know. I was so stressed. I'm like, how have I never heard of this show before? And it's so big. But then I started like as soon as my mom talked about it, I watched like so many episodes, and I'm
Binged,
like,
yeah.
okay, maybe. But yeah, so
It's
yeah,
such
I've
a
never heard of
different
it before.
it's such a different type of competition baking show.
Mhm.
It
So
is, yeah. It's
doesn't feel
not
like a
like
competition.
it doesn't feel like a competition at all. It's more like kind of like we're all together hanging out, baking in the tent. Yeah, it's stressful and it's fun, and you have good moments and you have bad moments, but lots of bad moments. But it's so much fun. Like it doesn't feel like you're like competing against. You're like almost helping each other
Mhm.
in a way,
Yeah,
and like just hanging out in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
So
So go ahead.
you had binge watched a bunch of it, so you were very familiar with the tent and everything because you probably were able to watch season one and two by that
Yeah.
point.
Yes.
And so how did it feel? to walk in there the first time?
Oh, it was surreal. Like just walking in the tent, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm here. And it was just like almost like mind blowing, like walking into like a TV almost. Like it was just
Mhm.
like, wow, this is real. This is happening. And also the most stressful thing in the world because like I don't like baking outside of my own kitchen. So like
Uh,
now we're baking in a tent and like I'm like, oh, we can't. So it was like it just felt so like it didn't feel real at first until like that first competition and you're just like, okay, this is happening, right? Like it was just
Mhm.
like you don't know what's going on. You're like your mind's just like moving like times a million. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're like, okay, now there's cameras in my face. You actually have to do something.
Yeah, that
Like,
must be weird.
yeah, it was so weird because like in my kitchen, my family knows not to bug me, right? I'm like, this is
Mhm.
my zen. I'm like
Yeah.
in my zone right now. There, it's like there's a camera in your face all the time. There's
Yeah.
judges, there's you're talking with the other bakers, like there's no quiet. There's
Yeah.
no peace. It's just like you're there.
Not
And
just listening to your podcasts or anything.
no, yeah, it's like you're not just in your own zone. You're like you're live. Everyone, everything is being shown to everyone.
So how do you prepare for something like that? I guess not even knowing that that would be what you would expect, but how did you prepare for being on the show and kind of trying to understand what you needed to kind of do before getting into that tent?
So they do send you like it's like leading up to it, you have like 6 weeks leading up to it to kind of prepare. And it's like a full-time job almost. And like everyone was wondering why I was baking so much and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, why are you bringing a whole cake to us right now? Like I just felt like making a cake to represent BC. So you're like
It's a
prepping
random
like
Tuesday.
Just like
right,
fun.
like why not? Yeah, so like you're just baking a whole lot more than like I already thought I baked a lot, but you're baking like a lot before you go there. So
Mhm.
you're kind of prepping, but like even doing some of the bakes that you're gonna do in the tent, it's like you get to the tent and things don't go the way you did it at home. Like um my bread vase at home worked beautifully. It tasted amazing and I don't do bread and it worked beautifully at home. But as soon as I was in the tent, I was like, this is not gonna go well, and clearly it didn't. So
Oh
yeah,
man. Yeah,
yeah,
that's so tough.
yeah.
And you're not able to be like as I mean, you can be creative because you have to be creative when you're creating the recipes, but then you're just like, okay, well, this is my plan now. And then in the tent, you're like, okay, this is what I've planned for. There's n
It
not as
doesn't
much
always,
wiggle room to be as creative as you might want to be.
yeah. And
Yeah.
like you do kind of like work with what's going on. Like if something's not gonna work, you just kind of make something else, but
Yeah.
you don't have much wiggle room, right? And like if it's not working, it's not gonna work, right?
Yeah.
And you've got the time constraints too. So it's not
Yeah,
like you've got some time to kind of figure out and pivot.
mhm,
I mean, I think you're probably making some snap decisions on just trying to get
absolutely.
get something on that plate to present.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like at home, if something doesn't work, I'm like, I feel down at first and I'm like, I'm gonna do it again. But in the tent, you don't have that time.
No.
It's like it's not working. You just gotta go with it and come up with something else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so tough because like you had week one and week two where you're pretty much just kind of getting used to the setup, the ovens, the cameras in your face, the
Yeah,
everything. And then week three is bread week and you don't do bread. And
I
so
know.
you must have been stressed about that leading
I
up to
was,
it.
yeah. Like the morning of bread week, I was like, I was already doubting myself. Like I
Mhm.
knew,
Oh.
and I was like, this is not fair because I'm having so much fun, and I knew I could do so much more. But I was already in my head doubting myself, which I think that was like the biggest thing I regret is just like putting it in my mindset that it wasn't gonna work from the beginning. And if I had changed my mindset, because now I'm like, yeah, that was kind of dumb, kind of set myself up for failure there. But now I'm like, I shouldn't have done that, and I could have done amazing. So my best advice to give anyone is just don't doubt yourself, just go for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good,
How,
good,
well, when
good
after
words.
the technical, in the technical, you were pretty middle of the pack. Like,
Yeah.
so did that give you a little bit of hope or
It
encouragement?
did, yeah. It gave me a lot more like, okay, maybe I can pull through this. And like I was kind of surprised. I'm like, wow, I actually did pretty good in the technical. So I was like, hey, if I can do the technical good, then I can do this, right?
Yeah.
And then it just was not working for me. Like I guess I didn't bring the mold that I had originally planned for my vase, so
Mm,
that kind of fell through. And then like the things weren't baking the proper way, and I don't know, just kind of like spiraled, right? So
mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
that's
you
tough.
you were doing a bouquet of bread,
yeah.
and then tell us what it felt like to be presenting it to the judges when it didn't go the way that you had hoped.
I was disappointed in myself, and I think that everyone could see it on my face because I'm like, I'm presenting this bouquet of bread, but I knew it wasn't baked properly. Like I tried it, and I was like, I know it's not that good. And like, I was worried about Bruno trying it too, because I'm like, he loves bread. And I knew as soon as I was presenting, I'm like, I'm sorry, I did my best.
Yeah.
And I just kind of had to keep smiling and kind of fight through it. But yeah.
Yeah. That's so hard.
Well, some days
Hmm.
are good days, other days you yeah, they're a little rougher, and I'm sorry that you had to go through that, and we
It was still the best
it's
experience of my life. I wish I
nice.
could go back.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
need
I
to do a
bet.
reunion show.
Yeah. Did you
I
wish maybe
agree.
you were competing on season 8 where there really wasn't any bread until like the finale?
Yes, I was like, why? Why would they do season three bread right at the beginning? That's like one of the hardest things. But I
Yeah.
mean, everyone has like the easy things and hard things, right? So you
Hmm.
Yeah.
never know
That's so
what's
true.
gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and sometimes it's just luck of the draw, and it's really unfortunate
exactly.
that it worked out that way for you. But I'm glad to hear you say that despite having to leave in week 3, it was an amazing experience for
Yeah.
you.
It was,
And then
yeah.
you have this baking family that you get to
Yes.
share for many years to come. So, how
And
was
like,
that? Did you develop some good relationships?
absolutely, that's what I was gonna say. Like, we still have a chat that we talk to all the time, and like,
Nice.
they really do become like a part of your family almost.
Yeah.
And like all the seasons following our season and seasons before our season, we're all in the same group. So you can imagine there's like over 60 people in this one group, and we're always like, every day there's a new message, like someone asking for advice or asking for a recipe or like just to chat, or
Oh,
everyone's always saying happy birthday to every birthday. So
Oh,
it's really like it really becomes like this one big group family, which is really, really, really cool.
how wonderful is that? And think about all of that knowledge
Yeah,
in that one
absolutely.
group. Like, how
Hmm.
incredible is that
It's
to have
like,
some of the best baking minds in the country as
yeah,
part of
it's
that
like a,
chat group?
yeah, it's like a baking encyclopedia almost. Like you could just like, oh, I need to know where to find this, or whatever you need to know, like you just ask them the question, someone always has an answer, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
Because think about it, like we were just talking about, like for everybody's got their specialties, and that's the thing. There, think about all the bakers that have gone
Yeah,
through and all of the different specialties that each of them bring to the table.
yeah.
It's yeah. How
yeah, it
cool
was
is
really
that
cool.
to be part of
Yeah,
a group that is so elite and talented and all wonderful human beings too? Because that's the
absolutely. Yeah,
other big, big part of it.
everyone's absolutely amazing. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I hope we get there someday.
You will. Never give up. I love that you guys keep coming back. Like, I don't know if I would have it in me. Like, coming back for the second audition was like hard enough. So I'm like, good for you guys. It's absolutely amazing. And like, it really is like a really cool experience just being there, right? So
Yeah,
It really
it's,
was.
I really hope that you still keep coming back. I really hope that you both get on this season, but
that would be
we
amazing.
will,
That would
time
be
will
fun.
only tell.
We don't expect to ever be on the same season. She
No.
wasn't going to apply this year.
Oh
And
no?
I
Oh
kind
my
of
gosh,
pushed
I'm
her.
glad you did.
I'm glad you did too. And if
Yeah.
you get
Thank
on,
you.
I will be super excited.
And I'll be super
Me too.
excited to see you on there, my friend. Like,
Yes.
it's
I want
always
to see
fun.
both of you on there.
Wouldn't that be fun though if we really,
Oh,
if we did ever get
That
on the
would be
same season?
so cool.
that
That
would be
would be
so much.
really cool.
That would be even better than just
I,
even getting into the tent to be able to
I
bake
feel
with
like they
you.
need to put you guys both on together just because you have become like almost part of our baking family already, just because you talk to all of us
Yeah,
already. So I think you're already a part of our family, so they need to just bring you both on to one season together.
just make it
There you go.
official. Come
Yeah,
on. There's lots
absolutely.
of people who would really enjoy that.
I agree. Absolutely, 100%.
That would be so much fun, actually. Yeah.
Well, we're not expecting it,
No.
but we would be very, very happy if it did happen.
I'm crossing my fingers for you.
No.
Well, thank you.
That's so
And
sweet.
I'm
But
glad that
that's
you liked our bakes too, because that's important. To actually
They were
taste it and
so
say that it was
delicious.
good. That's important.
They were delicious. Two of my favorite ones there actually, and there was a lot. There was
Yeah,
a
there
there,
lot.
was
there
some.
was so
I
much
went
there.
home in a sugar coma.
I
Oh,
that and actually that's one of the things that really surprised me too. And I don't think it's not typical, but there weren't a lot of savory bakes.
No, there wasn't. Like I know sometimes there is, and like I know a lot of the TV past or like oh my goodness, can't even think. The people that are like tasting your food, they're
Mhm.
always so excited when there's savory. They're like jumping up and down, like, "Come on, this is savory!"
yeah.
So
Like a
it's
palate
yeah,
cleanser.
yeah, a
I had
lot of
started a
sugar.
savory bake in case my mirror glaze for my entremet didn't work. I had my backup savory bake that I was working on, and then it worked, and I just discarded all the savory stuff because I was so
You should
happy.
have brought both.
I should have, but I was trying to
Ah,
get on a ferry and get over to her place so that we could go together.
yeah. And I
So,
did all savory the year before.
yeah, last
So
year
Okay,
yeah, last year I did all savory. So
okay,
it was
nice.
really good. Hmm.
I'm not very, I guess I don't do very many savory things. So when I do, it's like, what can I do this time?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
usually tend to go with the same old flavor combinations for savory.
Yeah,
there's lots of
same here.
different things that you could do. Like
Yeah.
my last year's audition bake was some shoe and it was all like
Oh,
Portuguese
okay.
because I'm a Portuguese background. So I did
Mhm.
like a Portuguese chorizo, homemade Portuguese chorizo sausage in a shoe.
Oh,
And
nice.
then I did some Madeleine
With
that were like
goat's cheese. Oh.
cornmeal based
Oh,
with
cool.
I can't even remember flavors anymore, sun-dried tomatoes, some olives or something in there. And then
That's so
I
cool.
did savory macaron as well with like a
Wow.
walnut and fig kind of combo. That was kind of like a sweet salty one.
You're like Lady Flavor. See, I wouldn't have come
Lady
up with those.
Later
Yeah,
flavor.
I love it.
flavor. Yes, that her
So
chorizo shoe was my favorite bake
It's
last year
so
that I
good.
tasted. So,
yeah, that turned out really well.
Mhm.
I should have just done like a tower of shoe.
sure.
That's
That
what I
would have
should
been
have
pretty
done.
coll.
Yeah,
Well,
of the savory shoe. That's what I
hopefully
should
Yeah.
you
have
won't
done.
have to do it next year, but if you do have to do it next year, now you know.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
But I went
Hmm.
sweet this year because I wanted to show them that I could also do sweet too, right? So,
And they were amazing. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
definitely
The
worth it.
cherries are they were so
I know.
perfect.
I couldn't believe those were not real cherries. I was like, at first I thought they were.
Hmm.
So they were really good, really good.
Thank
Even
you. It
even
was
the
such a
photo
fun,
that you put up today on your Instagram,
yeah.
Mhm.
and I'm looking at the cherry and I'm like, I literally watched her create those and put them together, and it looks like a real cherry.
I know, it's amazing. It was so, so well done.
Yay!
Thank you. It was fun. It was fun. So thank you, Lisa, for giving me the push to create something for this year's audition.
I'll take
I
full
love it.
credit if you get into season 9.
Well, I want to see you get into season 9.
I know you
How
do.
much?
And you want to see both of us, right,
Yes,
Andrea?
yes,
Well, I'm just
absolutely.
excited because it's so much fun watching the show when you actually know people who
Yeah,
are in that
for
tent, right?
sure. Well,
So
like I met Betty when I was at my audition in Vancouver, and she was so excited to see me in Vancouver.
Oh,
And we actually chatted like after our audition, and like we became like we were like sitting and talking to each other after our audition. And then when we saw each other in Vancouver or in Toronto when we flew out there,
yeah.
we were so excited. We're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So
yeah,
like we
Yeah.
knew each other before going, which was really cool.
yeah.
That's
It's
really
like,
cool.
yeah, a similar thing to Erica and Rita from
Yeah.
this past season. They had
Mhm.
met at an audition and then, yeah, found
Yeah.
themselves both
So
in Toronto. So,
they do bring people that know each other.
yeah.
That's true.
Oh, well, there's
Right?
maybe hope for us yet.
Yes, absolutely.
We've just got to always stay positive about it because what's the point of
Yeah,
being
Yeah, it's
otherwise, right?
yeah,
totally.
and it's all about the experience, right? Like
For
the
sure.
whole experience.
Yes.
Yeah. And we had so much fun at the auditions this year.
They were
Like,
a lot of fun.
yeah, I think last year I was really nervous. There was a lot of stuff that happened too. My oven crapped out. I
Oh
sliced my
no.
finger,
Oh no.
had to
And
get stitches.
It was Super Bowl
It was
Sunday, and
Super
she
Bowl
was hosting
Sunday.
the get together at her house in
Oh
the
my gosh.
afternoon.
So lots of
That's a
stuff
lot.
going on. So it was
That's
very,
a
very
lot.
stressful. But again, like Lisa was saying, like this year it was like a little bit, it was like more relaxed, right? Like
Yeah.
yeah, you had an
Hmm.
idea of what to expect. I wasn't as like frantic and it just like, it was like, oh yeah, well, that didn't work out. So I'm gonna just pivot over and do this. And and it all seemed to come together. And it
That's
was
Yeah.
nice having
awesome.
Lisa the night before. She came over the night before and we got to hang out and do
Yeah,
some
that's
That's
always
do
so
some
nice.
stuff
cool.
together and
We
yeah.
like each other. We like spending time
No,
Yeah.
together.
I love it. That's
And
so
then
awesome.
and then seeing everybody too. People,
Well,
bakers that we'd met last season, all the
Mhm.
alumni, of course, seeing the whole production team from Proper TV was lovely because
yeah.
they're such beautiful people
I
as
think
well.
They are.
we were fangirling a little less this
Yeah.
time. Like last year we
Yeah.
were like, "Oh my gosh, it's this person, it's that person." And this year we like, "There's our friends." You know what I mean? Like it was so
Oh,
To
nice to
you. We've talked to
see the
you.
people.
Well, we had
Yeah.
talked to everybody except for you as far as the alumni bakers,
Yeah,
yes,
and
right?
Bruno. We had
Yeah,
interviewed Bruno as
yeah,
well. So,
yeah.
that's awesome.
yeah, it was really, really nice to be able to spend some time. And Marcus we had never met in person, so to see him in person was really nice. And yeah, it was just such a great relaxed experience. Last year I was such a keener. I stayed in the hotel.
Oh
And
wow.
I was like, my sister and I went for breakfast and then we went down to just scope out the room. And they were like, "Oh yeah, come on in, come on in." And I was like, "I'm just checking to see where I'm supposed to go in an hour." And they were like, "Come on in." So I was the first one to show my bake
Wow,
to anyone,
that's awesome.
which was great. But then I didn't want to go home and I just was hanging around for a few hours talking with everybody. And this time it was just like, well, we'll get there when we get there. And we were kind of near
More
the end.
relaxed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was really
yeah,
nice. Yeah, it was a great
That's
experience.
yeah.
awesome.
That's
Yes.
very cool.
Hmm.
So how has life changed for you since being on Great Canadian Baking Show?
I'm way less stressed when I'm baking now because I feel like that was like the extreme. So now it's like any other baking I do now is just for fun and I don't stress over it. It's like, oh, I need to do this now, or I'll bake this, or I just do it just for the fun of it. So that has
Mhm.
helped a lot because doing the most stressful thing in the world with baking to coming home and like I actually know what I'm doing. It's
Mhm.
okay. And I do try out bread more often now, so that's kind of a cool thing.
You're
I
not staying away from it forever.
no, I
Good.
did for like the longest time. I was like, no, I'm never doing bread again, especially
Oh,
after that big fail. I'm like, now everyone's never gonna try my bread because I can't do it. So I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. But now I'm like, okay, I can do this. So I
well,
do that a lot more. And when I came back, a lot of people still didn't even recognize me. And like the odd time I'll get like someone in the grocery store like, are you that person? I'm like, yeah. And then I have kids still in the school. Like today, one of my students was like, "You were on TV, weren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I was." He's like, "Oh yeah, I remember you. You don't look the same." I'm like, "No, I don't. No, not at all." So life's just kind of been a lot more laid back and easy, and my kids are a lot older now, which is
Yeah,
kind of sad.
they grow up
Um,
so fast,
yeah,
right?
They do.
my kids go to the school that I work at, so but my oldest is graduating this year, so she won't be in the school next year. So I'm like, oh.
Oh,
My youngest is in grade 5 this year, so she only has a couple more years here. So yeah, just they just keep growing, and I just keep getting older.
it happens to
Mm.
the best of us.
I
Yeah,
know, right? It's
yeah,
hard
in
to.
the blink of an eye, it really
uh,
is.
It's crazy because like when I was on the show, they were 6 and 4. I'm like, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, how
Yeah.
did that much time go fast? Like
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just amazing how fast time goes. So what
Yeah.
happens with going to school then when your oldest moves to the next school? It's not, is it walking distance as well in a different direction
She
or?
has to take a bus, but she
Oh, okay.
catches the bus. Like the bus driver drops the kids off outside of our school, and
Okay.
then they drive up to her high school. I'm like, oh my gosh, how do you go to high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yikes.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Oh,
and it never stops. It just goes faster and faster.
Yeah,
So,
but like I've been at this school now. This is my 4th year, so like since they were little, and I've been here, right? So they've always had mom at school. Like I'm with my kids like 24/7, literally. So
yeah.
her not being here is gonna be like a whole nother world.
yeah.
Are you
Oh,
feeling a little bit of kind of like empty nest syndrome in a way?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm like, you're not even like moving out of the house, but you're just not gonna be at the school anymore. And
Yeah.
she's like slowly pulling herself away from coming to my room at
Oh,
like at like breaks and stuff. I'm like, oh, I didn't see you today. And like
oh,
she's already doing it. I'm like, I'm not ready for this.
no.
oh. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's probably worse on the parents versus the kids. The
yeah,
kids
they're
are like
probably excited.
happy-go-lucky. They're
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. They're excited. They're going on, and then the parents are like, "No, please don't grow up.
Like you can
Stay
come give me
small."
a hug and a kiss. And like my youngest, like I still bug her. She gets so embarrassed, but like her classroom's right across from my room. So I go in there and I give her a hug and a kiss, and she's like, "Mom."
How embarrassing.
Doing? People are
Yeah.
watching.
But then their friends are like, "You're so lucky your mom works here." And she's like, "Yeah."
You know what?
Oh
I
no.
think when they get older, they will appreciate all
I
of
hope
it. I
so.
think,
I
I,
love it. I've
yeah.
I've always wanted to be a fly on the wall at their school, and now I am. So
Yes.
Oh, see, you've got the tea on everybody.
yeah, oh yeah.
Kind of scary. But
I know they
you
don't get away
recognize
with much.
that's pretty good. I mean, well done, Mom. It's
Yeah.
it's funny because you don't realize how much they know or the type of things that they talk about, and then you
Oh,
hear them over, in their
it's
little
it's
groups, and you're
crazy.
like, oh my goodness, like you're little gossipy people, and you
I
know all these
know.
things that I
I
didn't
know.
realize that you knew, and
I
Yeah.
know. It's like
yeah,
when I was a kid, I don't remember doing the things that they do now and talking about the things they talk about. I'm like,
Yeah. So true.
life is
If,
different now.
it is.
yeah. If you could only just keep them
Little.
younger, longer.
And
And
like when they're little, you're like, oh, I can't wait till they're just a bit older. And you're like, no, now I wish they were that small again.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
And
when my son was in that, my youngest son was in that very much, Mom, come do this with me. Mom, watch this. Mom, look at this. Mom, can we do this? Mom, can we play a game? And I was just like, I'm so tired.
Ready?
And I
yeah.
was a single mom at the time too. So I was working, and then when I was home with him, he was just like, let's
Let's
do this.
go. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
remember thinking, you're going to miss it someday.
Mm.
There will be a time when you miss it. And then
Yeah.
as he got older and it started to be less, Mom, let's do things together, and more of him being in his room, playing on his computer with his friends and
Hmm.
everything, I was like, I knew I would
I
miss
know.
this.
It's
And
so true.
now he's grown up and he's out of the house, and I'm like,
Uh,
my baby is gone,
I
like my
know.
last one. So we
Yeah.
text each other. I'm like, I miss you. He's like, I need mom time.
Oh,
No.
So now you're like, okay, I knew I was gonna miss it, but it's still it hurts as you're going
Yeah,
through that little pulling away.
absolutely.
yeah.
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 But it's fun to have those like cool little things that you do together and keeping them young. And one of the things I saw on your Instagram page as I was like stalking you a little bit more and kind of understanding who Andrea really is, you have an incredibly strong elf on the shelf game.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
that thing is gonna drive me crazy.
How do you do all that? I was like just quickly looking through it. I'm like, I was like fascinated. It's so cool.
It,
And everybody on here, you need to check out Andrea's Instagram page and scroll down to the holiday season to
oh
check
my gosh.
out all of the
Every
crazy.
year for the last every year for the last 12 years I've done it. And like I
Oh,
thought this last year was gonna be the last year, but my kids are still wanting to do it again. So next year will be a whole other phase of the elf. But yeah, it's like some nights I'm like, what am I gonna do? And then other times I'm like, I spend hours and hours coming up with what I'm gonna do.
The
But
wow.
creativity
yeah, well, I
is
get all my inspiration from other people though.
Well,
I
that's,
mean,
I
I come
mean,
up with some of it, but
sharing
it's
ideas. Yeah. The
to
parent
actually
community too.
execute. Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But to execute at that level of execution is
It's
so
exhausting.
incredible.
It's exhausting.
It's
Hey,
awesome. I can imagine.
what is your elf's name?
Well, we have, oh my gosh, I think we have six now.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
I
the
didn't
Yes.
see
original
Like I
that.
said, you
I
need
yeah,
wasn't
to check it
looking.
out.
the original one is tinsel. Then we have sprinkles, peppermint, um, spark, candy, and something else. There's a lot.
Those are great names. I
Yeah.
always love how the names that the kids come up with, like my niece and nephew. Theirs is a boy elf whose name is Jane. And then my other friends, their little girl named theirs Cheeky Midge, which I just
Oh,
think is the
cute.
funniest name.
That's cute. So
That
cute.
is adorable.
But
But
it's a level of commitment to get one of
It
those
really
elves.
is.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
yeah,
And
I
like my friend just gave us another one, so I have another one to add to next year.
Your friend's
Like,
like, I
oh
don't
my
want to
gosh.
do this anymore, but you
No.
might.
seven. You'll have seven elves.
Yeah,
They
it's
get into a lot of
insane.
trouble.
Oh my gosh. And so much mess.
Ugh.
I bet.
So
But
it's gonna make a
incredible. And then how did you animate the whole thing? Like seriously,
Oh
I'm
my
not
gosh.
kidding you. You need to check out Andrea's page to check
I'm
out
gonna go look right now.
this
That
it's
no,
like
that was
really incredible. Like you should do a documentary or a podcast on it. Like
oh my
you
gosh.
it's
I think
crazy.
I think that's what made my kids like want to do it more is seeing those animations this year because I'm like
Yes.
that was new to me too. I saw someone post it. It's like this AI generator. But as soon as I did one, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to believe these things are real now too. And it
Yes.
scared me. I was
Yeah,
like,
I
and
can
then
imagine.
I showed my coworkers, they're like, whoa, that's creepy. I'm like, Yeah, these things are like actually real.
It's real. Exactly. And no wonder your kids want to do it. I want to do it now. I want to come over to
Yeah.
your house and every morning
Oh
during the
my gosh.
holiday season and check out what the latest elf situation is.
And if you see my house, it's like full on, like Christmas is my favorite. So like my house is like full on Hallmark. Like
Oh,
I
I love
do the
it.
whole thing.
Oh,
I've
Your pictures are
all
so beautiful.
oh, thank you. I've definitely downsized a lot. I've kind of downgraded a lot, but it's still like full on Christmas. Like I decorate my cupboards and my kitchen,
wow.
all the lights and everything. I love it all.
Did
But
you grow up like that? Like, were
um,
those Christmas traditions in your household, or how
no,
did you get?
we never had the elf in the shop. I don't think it was
No,
around when I was a kid.
no, but the
But
whole, like, all of the decorating and the magic of Christmas and
yeah, Christmas was always fun for me. It was always like magical, and I always wanted to bring that magic to my kids. But
Yeah.
I think I do a lot more than my parents did. Like I kind of like make it even bigger. I'm like, no, like it was my favorite thing when I was a kid, so I
Mhm.
wanted to really make it special for my kids. And like they look forward to it every year. So we
Yeah.
start decorating like early November and it stays up until, well, it goes down early actually. I call Boxing Day for a reason because that's when you box it all up, and my kids know that. So
Good.
like we go like full throttle right from November, but then once Christmas is done, it's done.
Oh, so Boxing Day
Pretty
how
smart.
does it take you just the one day to clean it all up, or
Yeah,
is it?
I do it all at once because I'm like, if I'm gonna do it, I do it all at once. I'm
Wow.
like an all or nothing kind of person. Like I go from one extreme to like the next extreme.
So when you're focusing on all the Christmas decorations and the elf on the shelf, all of that stuff that you're doing during the Christmas season, I mean, I'm assuming you have a Christmas break from work
Yeah,
because of working in a school. But are you baking a bunch of Christmas stuff at the same time?
absolutely. My freezer gets stocked, and like my family's so excited at Christmas because they all come, and I always have all the baking trees. Like I make all the gingerbread houses.
Oh,
My kids' elves bring their gingerbread house or sugar cookie house, but I bake that and I make their sugar cookie houses for them.
cool.
And I do my gingerbread houses and I do all my traditional baking. And then I also, like, before we go on break, I bring like a treat for work all the time too. So I'm always
Wow.
baking. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
That sounds amazing
Incredible.
for
Now,
sure.
do you also bake for your husband's coworkers?
Yes, yeah. Like not so much right now because a lot of his coworkers are away.
Mm,
But like I would always make whenever I was making stuff for my coworkers, I'd make double so that he could bring it to his as well.
nice.
That's
Yeah.
Oh,
wonderful.
very cool. Wow.
Well,
Well, I want to be one of your coworkers
yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean,
or
they
your
do
husband's
love me.
coworkers.
Yes, I bet they love you. Okay, how do you feel about playing a little game of this or that?
Absolutely.
Yay,
Yay.
let's do it.
Oh,
All right, I'll start off.
yes.
Coffee, tea, or something else?
Coffee, 100%. I've always been a coffee drinker. Yes, love it. And I do love tea too, so
Okay, so
but
we're even
coffee is
then.
my big one. Yeah.
So, what is your Starbucks order then?
Hmm.
Oh my goodness.
We got to listen to
So,
this one.
oh, there's so many of them. If I, okay, I'll say it. They don't do it anymore because it's all like stickered. But when I was a barista, you'd have to call out the drinks and like say the name, right? So mine was like a triple ristretto grande, soy, extra hot, extra foamy, extra caramel, toffee nut, caramel macchiato. And like that was like a simple one.
That was a simple one. Okay,
Yeah.
what was a complicated one?
I love
Oh
the
my
toffee
gosh.
nut. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, toffee nut. They don't have toffee nut anymore.
Hmm.
But I would do like, let's say a quad, triple, half toffee nut, half caramel. oat milk, extra hot, extra foamy, extra caramel, white chocolate mocha. Like it just keeps going.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Why,
amazing. And
why extra hot?
Because I always like, I don't know, I find that it gives it more flavor and I like it to last longer.
Okay.
yeah, there you go. That makes sense. And do they spell your name correctly
I
when
was
you
just
go into
gonna say.
Starbucks?
Well, I order on the app now, so
No.
it has to
Uh,
be correct because I did it.
yeah, that's fair.
But
That's
like
disappointing. Oh,
I miss the traditional way, like when I first started at Starbucks, you'd write on the cups and
yeah.
everything. They
Mhm.
don't like, I don't think baristas know how to do that anymore, but I'm like, that was what made it fun, right? Like you can
Hmm.
personalize it and everything.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I
yeah.
got the last couple times I went, I got a happy face on one, and the time before that they drew a heart on it, and I was
Oh,
like,
Oh,
that's nice.
I don't
nice.
know why they're being so nice, but it's
I
nice to
love
see that
that.
black marker
That
come out, you know?
It's
that's
like
awesome. I
it's
love
like
that.
Costco
Yeah,
receipts.
yeah.
Sometimes you get
My
the little
kids love
smiley
that.
face.
I don't know. I don't go to Costco, so
I usually just get a worm
Oh
though.
my gosh.
a worm.
Yeah,
Just
just a
like a
straight line
A
down the
meow.
receipt.
worm.
All right, next
Oh,
question.
Cake or pie?
cake 100%. I've never been a big pie person, and I love making cake. I make my kids cakes every year. This year, I'm making my kids cakes, but my first daughter or my youngest daughter, her birthday's coming up, and she's having a joint birthday with her friend. So I have to make they have two different themes. My daughter is Hello Kitty and her friend is Harry Potter. So I have to make one cake with both themes. So that's gonna be a challenge and I always love a challenge, so
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Oh,
very
that's gonna be
cool.
fun. Are you gonna post pictures of it?
Of course.
Yeah, you've already started posting, I think, some of the fondant or sugar paste that you use to do the
Yes, yes,
figurines.
yeah. So I have all the Hello Kitty decorations done and I'm just finishing up the Harry Potter ones.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm looking
Very
forward to
cool.
seeing
And
that.
do you have a favorite type of cake? Like if you're gonna have a cake for you, what is your favorite?
Mhm. I would say marble. I love both chocolate and vanilla, and it's hard to always pick between them. So when I get both of them together, I love a marble cake.
Okay.
Sounds
Well,
good.
that answers one of our questions. But that's okay. Sweet bakes or savory bakes? And you did kind of answer this
Yeah.
Yeah,
earlier too.
sweet, absolutely. Like a savory bake is always nice, but I've always had a sweet tooth, and I find that I can be more creative with the sweet ones. So
Hmm.
I always like the sweet bakes.
You
Yeah.
prefer to eat the sweet bakes than the savory bakes. So,
Um, I don't know. Like I don't eat a lot of my baking. I'll try it to make sure it tastes good and
Yeah.
then I give it all away. So it's kind of the same with savory, like a little nibble of it and then I'm good. Like I'm not a big baking eater, I guess.
yeah, that makes sense.
Fair.
Do you
Yeah.
do you cook a lot?
I do, yeah. I'm always after school actually I make soup every week and the kids love that.
Oh, nice.
And then at home I'm more of the cook than my husband for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Mhm.
Very cool. All
Hmm.
right. Signature, technical, or showstopper?
Oh my goodness, that's a tricky one. Oh, it's a hard one because I
We like
love
to ask
all
the
of
hard
them.
questions.
It
I didn't say
is.
this was going to be easy, Andrea.
Um, I really did. I really did like the technical because I kind of knew what to expect for the signature and the showstopper like during each week because you prep
Mhm.
for them.
Yeah.
But the technical it was kind of like a challenging and also like well, not everyone's gonna know what to do, right? So it's like
Mhm.
Yeah.
you're kind of all on the same even playing field. So I
It's true.
really like that.
Yeah.
What
Nice.
was your favorite technical that you did?
Oh my goodness, that's a tricky one. I would say I like oh my gosh, what is the name of it? It's the one with the bread.
The brioche tête?
No.
Let me see.
Yes,
We've got,
yes, yes, it was.
yeah.
Yeah. I really like that one just because like being able to slap the dough
Yeah.
was so much fun. Like and like everyone like you could just let your aggression out, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, I have so much stress and you just got to like really beat that dough and like that felt good
Yeah.
when you were under so much stress. It was like a stress relief.
Yeah. I can
Yeah.
imagine. And probably just a little bit of like comic relief too, as
Yeah.
everybody's like slapping the
Everyone's
Slapping.
bread and
slapping it.
like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
fun, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And then did you have a particular bake that you had planned for like the following weeks that you're really sad that you didn't get to do?
Yeah, the big sheet cake that they made for Cake Week.
Mm-hmm.
I was so excited to do that one because the cake that I had planned was actually my daughter's birthday cake that year.
Oh,
So I was really excited. It was like a unicorn mermaid theme.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was like I was really excited to do that one to show her. It was for her birthday and I wanted it to be on TV. So that was supposed to be the next week after Red
so
Week. So I was really sad that I didn't
the
get to show that one.
old school week? Yeah, the
Yeah,
coffee cake. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, you just
yeah.
if you could have gone just but at least you didn't have to do the creme caramel.
That's true. I was so glad about that one. I was like, I didn't even try that one because I did try some of the technicals after. Did not try that one.
oh,
Mm.
yeah.
So-
I think Bruno might still be scarred from that one.
I would be too. Yeah, that one was an iffy one.
Too funny.
Uh,
All
Mhm.
right. Next question. Vanilla or chocolate?
That, yeah, like I said, I can't pick between it. I love both of them, but I mean, I do like a good chocolate. So chocolate is kind of like my, I don't know, my devil's like food. Like as soon as I
Yeah.
eat chocolate, I just love it. So
yeah.
I would say I would pick chocolate over vanilla, but I do like both.
Okay.
Okay. And then do you prefer the darker chocolates, the more sort of like that the bitter
I
chocolate,
love
or do you
any,
like the milk chocolate or even white chocolate?
no, I do love a good dark chocolate. That's all I use in my baking, and just like when I ever get like anything to like sweet treat, then it would be dark chocolate.
Yeah. Nice. Good.
Wow.
All right. Nuts and baking. Are they a go or a no go for you?
It depends on what I'm baking. I do love pecans and a lot of different things, and almonds because
Mhm.
almonds are always good toasted and everything like that. But depends, like I said, it depends on what you're baking. Like if you're making, I don't know, let's see, cupcakes, you wouldn't put nuts in those, right? So
Mhm.
I would say it depends on the bake.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
you do like nuts.
I do.
Okay. Sounds like it. How about citrus or fruit in bakes?
Hmm. Aren't they the same though? Citrus fruit?
Or like
Depends.
berry fruits versus
Okay,
citrus.
that's fair. I would definitely do citrus. I love a good like lemon loaf or like orange zest.
Mhm.
I do like that citrusy taste. It kind of is a good contrast to the sweet.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
What's
That little acid.
your favorite citrus?
It would be lemon for
Yeah.
sure.
Lemon's pretty
It's
good. Have
hard
you
to.
tried yuzu?
Sorry?
Have you tried yuzu?
No, I haven't.
Mm.
I had one chocolate that Steve sent me for Christmas a couple of Christmases ago that was yuzu filled, and that was my first time tasting it. Obviously,
Oh,
it's not
okay.
fresh yuzu or anything like that, but I was like, oh,
Mhm.
it's such a yummy
Yeah.
flavor. Now I'm like, I gotta try
I,
it somewhere
I,
else.
yeah, I've always wanted to try it, just haven't had the opportunity to.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really nice. If you do like if you love that punchier lemon, I
Yeah,
think you'd
Mhm.
yeah.
probably appreciate yuzu. Because it's
Okay.
almost that extra like there's a lemon and then there's like
There's the
yuzu.
easy.
Yeah.
And it
I
doesn't,
definitely
Possibly
have to give it a go.
yeah.
hard for us to source here on the island, I think. I'm gonna
Yes,
go
yes.
to the market, excuse me, market garden and see if I can find something there because they might have some more unusual things. But maybe when I'm in Vancouver, I'm gonna have to see because that's probably a more
Yeah.
likely
Yeah.
place to find it. And then I'll drive
Yeah.
up and give you some, Andrea,
Oh, thank
and we'll
you.
try it together.
Yes, absolutely. Would
Nice.
Yeah.
love that.
Chocolate bars. Do you like a Mars bar or a Snickers bar or maybe something else? What's your favorite candy bar?
Oh my goodness, that's a tricky one again.
Hmm,
Um, Between the two, I would pick Snickers because I love the peanut butter caramel flavor.
Combination.
yeah,
So definitely Snickers over those two.
yeah. Nice.
But not, they don't have dark chocolate Mars and Snickers, do they?
No, they don't. So
Thank
dark
goodness.
chocolate, yeah.
Mars
Or
used
like
to,
if I'm gonna have a dark chocolate bar, I just want the straight dark chocolate. I
yeah,
don't like the mix of flavors.
yeah. I kind of remember Mars did at one point, like this was like
Mars
moons
dark.
ago. They did
Oh,
have the
okay.
dark Mars.
I
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't
forgot. Yeah.
remember that one. Okay.
yeah, yeah. That was a
But you
long
wouldn't
time
want
ago.
that. You wouldn't want that because it interferes with the taste of the chocolate to have the
Yeah,
filling in
probably.
there.
Yeah,
I used to
I
eat
think so.
my Mars bars by like cutting off or biting off all the chocolate from all the edges, and then I would separate the nougat from the caramel and eat the nougat by itself,
That
and
that's
then
so
just
funny
have
because
a bunch of caramel.
yeah, it's so funny because I do that with certain things too. Like I'll nibble around what I want to save for last, right? My kids look at me and they're like, "Why are you doing that?" I'm like, "Let's save it the best for last."
Yes, yes. Oh, I'm glad that
Yeah,
you understand. I was like, that's a
totally,
weird thing.
totally.
So far to be seen, huh?
Feels really good. Yes.
Nice,
Yes.
nice.
Okay, to make or eat choux or macaron.
Macarons, I'm like known in my community for my macarons now, which I can't believe is something I can say now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I used to like cry. I would sit in front of my oven, just like bawling my eyes out. My husband's
Oh,
like, "Why do you keep doing it then?" I'm like, "Because I'm determined. I need to get these things right." And now I bake hundreds of macarons a week. I actually
wow.
have a business here in our town that sells my macarons. So I
Oh,
bake like
nice.
I don't know, like 200 macarons every 2 weeks for them. So definitely one of my favorite things to make now, and I still can't believe that I'm able to do it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like little, I don't know, exciting achievement, I guess.
Yeah. Just a
Yeah,
little triumph there.
Yeah,
that is amazing. And I'm sure the community appreciates your macarons because
they
there
do love
probably
them.
aren't a lot of like, you can get them. They're a little bit more readily available and more people are making them, but there's still a little like good ones are a little less common,
Yeah, and a
right?
lot of people like they'll get the ones from Costco and then they
Mm.
try mine. They're like, the ones at Costco aren't macarons. I'm like, no, no, not at all.
No.
No.
Or the ones that you can pick up in those packages at Winners or
Yeah,
Homesteads.
no, they're not. I don't even know what they are.
We're not
Well,
sure.
sometimes they're macaroons. That's
Yes.
what they
That's
say on the
true.
package.
Oh, my kids will correct anyone that says, "Oh, have you tried your mom's macaroons?" They're like, "You mean macarons?" I'm like,
Oh, good.
"Okay."
Nice.
Very
Good.
proud of them.
Good, good.
Good
Right?
job,
Yeah.
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
All right. And the last one, and maybe arguably the most important one, butter tarts.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
Raisins or no raisins?
I'm a no raisin. I don't like I like pecans in there because they like the texture contrast.
Yeah.
But I do not like raisins in there. I just don't like the chew in it. I guess it
Okay,
doesn't
Oh,
feel
demonstrate
right.
it.
no.
Demonstrate it.
Arr.
I just don't like it. Doesn't feel right in my mouth. Okay,
I'm
I'm not a raisin person.
I'm totally with you on that, Andrea. I think there's something not quite right about the texture of
Yeah,
a butter tart with a raisin in it.
I agree. Yes, yes.
This discussion, it just never gets old.
And it doesn't. It's so
No,
true. There's a reason why it ends up on every season.
Hmm.
it's
Yep.
so much fun. Yeah.
It really is fun. I mean, I kind of love that Christina gets this like she's so excited when someone says no raisins. Like she's just like thrilled.
Victory!
And I'm
Victory!
like, I'm okay with whatever. It doesn't really, I don't really like butter tarts that much anyway. So I'm like,
Oh.
whatever, it's fine. But with her talking about how she always says, oh, I like them with currants in them,
Mhm.
then I'm like, no, no,
Mm-mm.
no.
No, I've never heard that either.
That's how I grew up with them, right?
So
So when
Okay.
then,
I grew up, actually, it was more my first husband's family. That's how they made them.
Okay.
And I really appreciated the way that my mother-in-law made them. So
mhm.
because they were
Okay.
just so good. They're
I've
yeah, that
never.
extra texture in there. So
Okay.
and flavor. And because the currants are not sweet, right?
Mm.
They've got a little bit
Oh,
of
so it's a contrast.
the
Yeah.
contrast, it cuts the sweetness a lot,
Yeah,
which I
absolutely.
appreciate.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But still
Never
gives
would have
me,
thought of that.
yeah, but still gives you a little extra texture in the butter
Hmm.
tart itself.
Yeah, I like that.
See?
See, so it has a lot to do with what you grew up with, right?
Yeah.
It
Like
does. Yeah, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
probably don't like butter tarts because I just grew up with Safeway butter tarts and they have raisins in them. And so that's all I
There
knew.
you go.
And
There
so it's
you
like, all right, I think a raisin sounds pretty good in there.
go.
But I did not know how good a butter tart could be until I had one at a bakery in Toronto. And then I was like, oh,
Uh,
this is what it's supposed to
like
taste
a
like.
real butter tart.
A
Yeah.
real butter tart, not a Safeway butter tart.
No.
So, yes, raisins, no raisins, I'm fine with that. I don't think I would want pecans because I just
No.
don't like nuts that much myself. So,
Okay. See, I
but
love them.
I'll try
Everyone
whatever.
likes their own thing, right?
As
Yeah.
long as they don't have
Exactly.
melons in them, I'm good because melons are
There
pretty
you
much
go.
the only things I will not touch.
I don't know why there would ever be a melon in butter tart, but who knows?
No.
Challenge accepted. No,
Uh,
not a challenge
Fine.
I would ever
no,
do.
no.
But they do have that butter tart festival in Ontario every
Yes, I've
year.
heard of that. Yeah,
Yeah, that would be kind of cool
it
to
would be.
actually
Hmm.
Like,
like
how many different butter tarts could you come up with, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
And then at what
Hmm.
point do they not become a butter tart and become
Exactly.
just a
A tart.
tart with
Yeah,
something else in
yeah,
it?
A
exactly.
melon tart.
Oh my
There's
gosh.
gotta be a percentage ratio of like the
Butter.
original
Yeah,
butter tart filling. Would
yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know.
No idea.
Interesting. Yeah, if
This
anybody knows, let us
the
know.
science on
Yeah,
butter tarts. Please tell us. Yeah.
Yes,
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 exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
So
yeah.
did you see our episode with Natalia?
I did.
Was
Yes.
that fun for you to watch?
It was. She's so sweet. I love Natalia. She's
Mhm.
like the most humble person you could ever meet. Like, even just going in the tent, she was always like, "No, my bake's not good." Like it's so simple and it's not as amazing as yours and all this. She's just so humble and so sweet. And so, such
Yeah,
a lovely person. I love her.
she was. I really enjoyed chatting with her. And then when I finally made her honey cake, I was just like,
Oh my gosh, her honey cake is amazing. Oh my
it's
gosh.
so good. Yeah.
It's so good. Like I remember eating it when she made it, and then like when I made it at home, it just wasn't the same. It was still delicious,
Yeah.
but it just like
Not as
it's
good as hers.
absolutely incredible.
Mm,
Man.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm still yet to make a honey cake. I really need
so
to add
good.
it to my list soon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's
So good.
deceptive in its simplicity. Like you do not
It is.
realize how amazing it's going to be.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I'm
nice.
looking forward to making one. Now I want to go make one right now.
I know, me too. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
thinking I do too.
And then we'll all send it to her and be like, "Hey, we were
Yeah,
just chatting
we were
about you.
talking
You
about you.
inspired." Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
She would love that. We should.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
totally should.
Yeah.
We'll have
All
our
right.
own little like honey cake competition, okay?
I'm
Let's set
down.
a date and
Honey
then we'll
cake
do it.
bake off.
Yes, I like it.
Okay. All right, we're gonna make our plans.
Okay, I agree. Let's do
Okay.
it.
Awesome.
Nice.
We will. Well, thank you so much for coming and joining us.
You're
Before we let
welcome.
you go, and thank you for taking time out of your day.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Do you have a baking scrap for our audience? A tip or a trick to pass on to everyone?
Yeah, well, for me, for anyone, that I would say that's just starting out baking or already does baking, I would say if you want to try something new, just never give up and just do it over and over again. Because I still have bakes where it doesn't work, but I just try it again and it always ends up working the more you practice. So never give up. If it doesn't work the first time, it might
Right.
work the next time or 100 times from now, but it will
Perfect.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely
Awesome.
did that with your macarons. Did you
Yeah,
do it with your bread bouquet?
I did not. I never want to do that again, actually.
Okay,
So
I'm
that
not going to
goes
suggest that
against
you do
my
it then.
advice, but
But you did make bread. You do
I
make
You
bread.
do
did. You
do
do
bread.
make bread.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
do make
Doesn't have
bread.
to be a bouquet. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
that's awesome. And as the new season is about to, well, the whole process for Great Canadian Baking Show is just getting ramped up again. The auditions were all held. There's soon going to be,
Closing
having
night.
those chats with 10 lucky people who get to be the bakers in the tent for season 9. Do you have any advice for them if they perhaps could be listening?
I would say just do your best, always smile, never give up, and just like bake with your full heart. And it might be stressful, but it's going to be the best experience of your life, and just take it all in.
Nice.
Perfect. Good
That is
advice.
awesome.
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you so much, Andrea.
Thank
I'm so
you.
excited that we got to talk to you today and
Me
get all
too.
caught
Thank you
up on
so much.
everything.
Yeah.
And we'll
Yeah,
get on that honey cake competition and
absolutely. I can't
we'll be
wait.
in touch.
Yes.
Awesome.
That sounds so
Okay.
fun.
It does. I can't wait.
Have an awesome day.
Thank
You
you,
as well.
Andrea.
Talk
You're
Bye.
soon.
welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 What a great chat.
Oh, I love doing this. I love it when we have, again, I pinch myself every single time. We should
Oh,
do
it's
a
so
reel
cute.
with all of that. I'm
Yeah,
sure
a
because I
reel
say
with you
this
pinching
often.
yourself.
I because I can't believe that we get to have all these amazing conversations. And Andrea is one of those people that's just one of the sweetest humans on the
And you
face of
have
the
macarons in
earth.
common.
And you know what? Macaron people are my kind of people. Just
So
saying.
she used to
Just
be
saying.
my kind of people, and now she's your kind of people. Is that what you're saying?
Every baker is my kind of people, really, at the end of the day.
That
Even
is
if
very
they
true.
put raisins in their butter tarts.
Yes, even if they put raisins in their butter tarts. Yes, we love all bakers. It's all part of our big extended family. Well, I'm just really glad we got a chance to chat with her. And
Same,
yeah, nice to see what she's been up to since she was on the show because that feels like so long ago already.
right?
And of course, as you mentioned, she looks different, and so people don't necessarily recognize her and stop her on the street or anything like that. But yeah, she sure made an impact on me when I saw her at the audition
Yeah.
with this gigantic cake in tow, and I remember thinking, yeah, she's going to be on the show. And then when I saw her on the show, I was like, yep, there she is. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
No.
been really fun to reconnect with her and get to know her.
For sure. And she's making such a great impact in her own community as well, and hope and really inspiring so many kids that she gets to work with on a regular basis with her work at the school. And man, I was floored by her commitment to the Christmas elves, the elf on the shelf.
Yeah.
Seriously, I've
Uh,
blown completely away. And
don't know how
seriously,
she does it.
I don't either. Like seriously, it is amazing the effort,
hmm
the thought process that goes behind it, and
Yeah.
how many levels did she say she had again? Like multi. I mean, we're not
One is
talking.
enough.
One is probably more than plenty, but she's got like a whole family of elves now.
Just amazing.
Yeah, so
So
fun,
fun.
so fun.
Yeah, I
What
wonder
great
how long that's gonna
memories.
last. Yeah.
Probably, you know what? I think the whole family is so into it that I think it's just their thing. So I don't think it's going to go away for them for a
No,
very, very long time.
you're
So,
probably right
which,
about that.
which is really cool because
It is.
Christmas is about creating those great
Memories for the kids.
memories. And I'm sure, yeah, they'll either have PTSD over it for their own kids later on, or they're going to take the torch, we pass that torch and have so much fun. And who knows what
Yeah.
that'll look like, you know,
Most holiday traditions end up being fond memories for kids,
uh,
I think.
for
So,
sure. For
yeah.
sure.
Oh, that's wonderful that what she's doing for her kids. So,
Mhm.
and for everybody else's entertainment as well.
Totally.
And inspiration.
Inspiration and entertainment for sure. And
Yeah.
seriously, you need to check it out because
Yes.
I'm not saying, oh, it's kind of just cutesy little thing. Like
No.
it's
It's
amazingly incredible.
it's an endeavor for sure, for sure.
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, we're so grateful we had the chance to chat with Andrea, and we hope you all enjoyed it as well. And on behalf of myself and Christina here, goodbye and happy baking.
And happy Easter to everyone.
And happy Easter! These are my bunny
Little
ears.
bunny ears.
Happy baking. Oh my gosh, how embarrassing. All right, bye.
Happy baking.